Hey there, everyone. What is up? PipPipHot789 here, and I am back today. Yeah, some more Mind Fantasy. Alright, so as you can see, we still have all of our loot from last time. Probably gonna need to grab some chests from there while we're at it. Yeah, I'm just gonna start throwing literally everything in there. The bars can stay. Uh, can we? Yes. Okay, let's just. So the bars will go with us. Okay, so bars will go here. All right. Oh wait, have some gold too. Gold can go there. All right, looking good, looking good. Do I have any common loots anywhere? That would be in it. Oh wait, yes, I do there. Okay, some raw beef. I think I've actually chopped up all of mine. All right, fair enough. So yeah, definitely running a little bit low on space. All right, so today. All right, so I'm gonna be extremely technical here and say that I have not actually, so if we're being extremely technical right now, this video is immediately after the last video where I, asked y'all, excuse me, what armor sets. So that video obviously hasn't came out. In fact, that video probably won't come out for like another month. However, I still not only want to do Mind Fantasy, I'm gonna be gone and not able to do videos for at least a couple of weeks. That just so happens to land right smack dab in this area. So, like this time. So I don't know what to do. We need armor. We can't go exploring without that. So yeah, we're still actually gonna have Mind Fantasy content. It's just, yeah. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, we're gonna basically be heading back over there, and we're gonna try and just start moving things. Though, considering I have no armor, and yeah, I'm not so sure how well this is gonna go. Alright, where is a thing of iron? Do we have an iron ingot anywhere? See, copper. Yes, iron ingot. Okay, so we're gonna be making ourselves a shield because that is about the only thing I can think of to protect myself without armor. But I'm also extremely dedicated in that uh, I said that y'all were gonna get to choose, so y'all are gonna get to choose. I do intend on making multiple suits of armor at some point. We just don't necessarily have the steel to do that at the moment. So yeah. Whee! Oh, a little high. Alright, I'm just gonna put all of these like spare weapons here, a little bit of spare food. Alright. We have ourselves a shield. Probably actually don't need this because that happens. So we're gonna need something besides a war. I'm only making one shield, so that's fine. That katana, perhaps. Yeah, yeah. All right, that'll work. Right, we can katana. Make sure that we have our food, and we can use our katana as normal. All right, sounds good. We have some berries if we need to. If we need to do anything in terms of stamina. Sorry, the word just left me. Wow. That was bad. Okay. So yeah, we are just gonna kind of start making trips. That is effectively this episode. So yeah, this is going to effectively be a filler episode. Uh, for those of you who do not want to watch such a thing, this entire episode is literally just going to be me going back and forth and probably dying a couple of times. I completely missed that jump. So yeah, if you want to watch that, feel free to stay. We will just kind of be talking. All right, so let's see. Uh, excuse me. All right, first up on the agenda. Well, first up on the agenda. Think of. Oh, really? Oh, I hear him. Why? Wait, why are there so many zombies around all of a sudden? Just wanted to try and get in something for the experience and for the weaponry. Speaking of, we absolutely need to check what our weaponry stat is after we get back. Alright, with the pest problem taken care of, first up, officially on my kind of talking agenda, and I don't have a full thing. We'll see how long this lasts before I just start, mumbling incoherently. But all right. First things first. Something I did want to point out. In terms of MineFantasy, right? The weapons that we have. So I will admit that there are other weapons besides what I showed, right? We have the sword, which is going to do cutting damage. We have the war axe, which does 20% blunts. It's the blunt in particular that I'm looking at. The maces. Zombies tend to have maces a lot for me. I don't know if that's like I usually see them with maces a lot. And they were blunt damage. Alright, so that is one source of blunt damage, right? Then we have the daggers, which are gonna do piercing, spears are gonna do piercing, great swords are gonna do a little bit of blunt damage, 10%. Battle axe is gonna do 25% blunt damage. And then the warhammers are doing 25. And then warhammers are doing blunt, right? And then we have katanas, which are going to do cutting. Then we have halberds, which are going to do 25% in the blunt area. Lances do 10% blunt, though I don't think I've ever seen anyone ever use this literally ever. And then, of course, there's the fact that unregistered attacks, which will basically be like like a melee attack from a zombie or a minotaur. That's about all. And even those are registered technically, I believe. They're just registered as the same thing that an unregistered is, because all unregistered are blunts. Again, though, this isn't like a mod pack where there's going to be a lot of unregistered things. This is literally just MineFantasy. That's it, right? We have MineFantasy, and that's it. So there's not really a lot for that, to work with. I say that just to try and give a slightly fuller, more full, more fuller picture of. Uh, okay, you can die. Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Oh, die. Thank you. Ouch. Right. Oh, right. I forgot. Right. Fat delay of 5 seconds. Fat accumulation. Da 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 da. 10 seconds. Fat accumulation. Yep. I completely forgot that. Uh, that jerky gives us stamina regen, because it doesn't say that. Would it be nice to have remembered that while fighting all these minotaurs, but so be it. Right? Okay. Need to be careful here. I forgot my pickaxe. I completely forgot my pickaxe. Great. Absolutely splendid. Well, we have quite a few cauldrons as it is. We will be okay. Here we go. Okay, so we cleared out this. I think we cleared out you. Wait, there's a cauldron. Oh, well, there's a bucket. And I can't actually pick up the cauldrons anymore, so... And I did clear out these. Okay. So let's just work our way clockwise. I think that's what I was doing before, actually. Right? Yeah, because then there's not a... Yep. Working my way clockwise. Okay. So where did we get to? Before we were chased out by some zombies. So, buckets. Oh, right. Buckets can't be scrapped. I completely forgot. Bit intentional, I'm sure, because there's so many bucket loots that you would just have, like, unlimited iron at that point. Unless if it's been changed in this newest version, actually, because I don't think I've tested that. But if I remember right, buckets could not be scrapped before. Okay. Well, there is something. Anyway. So, as for what to talk about. So, something that was recommended to me, just as something I could do, would be to do live. You know what? I'll take a bucket or two. Why not? I mean, they're gonna stack, right? There's no harm in getting them. So anyway, but someone was asking if I would consider. I'm gonna have to come back for all this. Can't believe I forgot my pick. Anyway, someone was asking whether or not I would be willing to do this live because this seems like something that would be pretty fun to do live. And I've done live things in the past, so it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility for me. I am not entirely sure because I figure if all right, so the entire point of this series, even though it's kind of devolved into a let's play, I'll take one of them. Sure. Just one, though. The entire original point of the series was to be a tutorial series, right? And I do still try and teach what I can. But, okay, that's a spider. Which is why we're being careful. Speaking of... Alright. I'm sorry if y'all can't really see. There was a skeleton there. I didn't see him myself, so that goes to show how effective this is. Should have brought my torches as well. Oh well, I was just going to clear out my inventory so that I would have enough room for everything, but I'm starting to regret that now. But anyway, back to the live dilemma. So, yes, this is a tutorial series, first and foremost, okay? It's meant to go over all of the mechanics from MineFantasy. It's meant to kind of just walk you through each of the levels. What can you expect? What's something you could do? And, just, all right, what is MineFantasy? How do you play it? How do you get through certain things? Like, how do you take on a labyrinth? Or I guess in my case is a bit more of how do you not take on a labyrinth? Because I abysmally failed at that. We don't need bowls. But regardless of that, that's the point of this series, is to be kind of just a guide through MineFantasy. That's... Oh, hi there, Mr. Skeleton. I heard you earlier. I was wondering where you were. But yeah, I don't want to sacrifice... If going live... Alright, so the big thing, right? Going live, there is a very real chance that people are not going to watch the VODs. which means that they would potentially miss tutorials. Now, obviously, I would try and keep tutorials to an absolute minimum. New things that we do. I would keep that to an absolute minimum during live, right? During any kind of live thing. But sometimes things happen, and people don't necessarily want to watch all these VODs and whatnot because, they're long. Though I do prefer long content myself, and if the length of my videos is not evident enough of this, I'm definitely more geared toward making long form content. I personally enjoy it a lot more than the shorter versions anyway, right? That aside, the big thing is I don't want people to not watch parts of this series because I've went live with parts of them and for something big to happen. Now, if it's a dungeon crawl, kind of like this one's, then okay. I mean, they can kind of reasonably expect what was gonna happen. So, like this dungeon crawl, for instance, it would have been a good 2.5 hours, or give or take. Like the full suite would have been about 2.5 hours. I think that would have been a really good thing to do live, actually. And this is something like they were talking about. But then gets to the other things, right? Because we didn't just find this, right? We also found that other place, right? And that's something you kind of need to see, right? That is not just a dungeon crawl. That was major. That Crucible find, right? The ancient Crucible. So that's not something that should just be blown off. And that is what worries me. Why do I hear them? I'm terrified right now. That's what I'm worried about, right? That's really it. So yeah, if y'all would want to see live content, I am more than happy to do some of this MineFantasy live. I saw ya. Or actually, I heard you, but... No, 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 no! Oh. Woo! Aw. That's a bit of a waste of refined planks. Oh well. Oh well. Uh, but... Anyway. Hey, some new weapons. Not that I can actually use any of them, but I digress. So I guess we can just kind of throw all of this in. Sure, why not? But yeah, so that... I wouldn't mind it at all. The other option, of course, is always going to be that I, actually do a MineFantasy live series. I did a MineFantasy... So I did do that one MineFantasy live with that mod pack that I had just kind of thrown together just to do something live while we were kind of just to do it. And, we were waiting on that updates. And it was just kind of going to be the last big MineFantasy thing that I did, because update was coming out soon. Probably the biggest update MineFantasy will ever receive. And yes, I'm including the one that we're about to get. I honestly think that this last one was the one that, we just got. I'm pretty sure it's bigger. Anywho, yeah, anyway. So that is obviously an option. I just, don't do this live, I do something else live. And that would also allow us to do other things. Alright, the big thing I love about live is that I'm not gonna be necessarily sorry. No, I can't throw away seeds. We will throw you in there. Excuse me. Right? And then we need more chest room. Okay, I'm sorry. But we need a lot more chest room. So we're gonna grab a couple of these chests. These here chests. Alright, But again, anyway, the live is absolutely something that I would do. I know I've already said this like a million times, but I really just don't know. I really just do not know. Oh, right. And the big thing for live is that I would be able to do it at my own pace, right? I don't have to have a specific upload schedule. I'll try and make it a little bit more, I will try and do lives at least semi-consistently. And of course, I'll try to, make sure that you know about them before an hour before, because that would generally be good. Can't promise anything though, because a lot of the time, what I do live is just kind of spur of the moment. I happen to have some free time here. Well, I have some free time. Don't really have anything else to do, so let's do a live stream. That's kind of my general thoughts on live streaming. And it's the general principle. Okay, I heard the zombies. Need to take you out quick before I hear a slime. Hold up, hold up. There's a slime here. Ah, and I can't get to it. But we could really use the slime balls. Great. Absolutely perfect. It is what it is. There's not much I can do about that. Not much to do about that. Nope, nope, nope. Ah, I'm sorry. He terrified. Okay, that's my cue to run. That is my cue to run. Oh no. Not good, not good, not good. Get up, get up. Oh. Okay, that was absolutely terrifying. I see him. I see ya, buddy. Hey, you see? Zombie with a mace. I don't know why, but just zombie with a mace. Anyway, that aside, it made me completely lose my place. Okay, so I have been through here before. Good to know. So the biggest question at this point is just, well, what do y'all want to see? Really, that's the big thing. I'm gonna continue doing this as a tutorial series because there is still more to go over. But at the same time, this is also kind of at its let's play point because, we've done a lot of MineFantasy at this point. So we've already cleared all of that. Right, because I was going clockwise, so which means that that direction is the last way, I do believe. Where did I go in that direction? And it was in this direction that I had. Hmm. Ah, those zombies completely threw me off. Okay. So we've apparently cleared all of this. Did we clear these rooms? Okay. Did we clear this? Yes, we did. Okay. In that case, I'm going to check down the last passage, but I think I've already cleared that as well, which means that should be it. I think. Right, because I've already cleared all of these. Yep. Yeah, because that's the way that we just went. Alright, so in that case, I think that we are done. Alright, we will grab you, because I remember that you Buckets and berries. Buckets and berries. And I think that we've already... Right. I don't necessarily know that I want to go down this route because I did not clear this before. But at the same time... Ah! Please just go away. Wow. Ah. Okay. So... yeah, sorry, gonna be a little bit more cautious here. Pretty sure we've already cleared all of this. The off chance... Yeah, no, there were just the libraries and that. Yep. Okay, so we're good. Let's not dilly-dally around there. And let's head on back. So, alright, yeah, so yeah, live. Wanted to talk about that. Sorry, I know I kind of rambled on about the same thing. It just repeated myself over and over and over. But yeah, that's just kind of there. Don't know that it would necessarily be a huge mod pack. It would just be a couple of mods that I think work really well with this, right? It's not going to be, for lack of a better term, MineFantasy vanilla, right? So, take that as you will. I'm thinking things like Anti-Catalyst, Electro Blobs would almost certainly be in there. But yeah. Let's see. Other things. Well, I still have MineFantasy content to make, after this video, of course. So we're probably not going to actually end up making that armor for another couple of episodes, just because I need to get a little bit of a backlog of videos for the time that I'm not going to be able to record. So yeah, we're going to have a backlog of a couple weeks worth of videos. It is what it is, right? That is just kind of how it's going to fall. All right, and other things. So here's a big thing. I personally absolutely love MineFantasy, right? It is the number one mod for me. If that's not really obvious, and I know I've said this in the past, but love MineFantasy to death. It is hands down my favorite mod. Probably always will be. Alright, don't need to eat any more berries, just for risk of berry poisoning. But anyway, that is all well and good, but then MineFantasy doesn't actually mesh with certain mods all that well. Let's take... even Tinkers can technically be kind of molded to work with it. Alright, Spartan Weaponry, for instance, right? So without a special add-on mod that, doesn't exist, Spartan Weaponry does not work well with MineFantasy for the sole fact that it relies on there being, certain types of, only certain types of weapons, right? There's not supposed to necessarily be, like a blue steel metal type or an mithril type, right? That's not the point of those mods. It's not to add in a bunch of new materials, but to expand on what materials are already there. Things like that, Balkan's weapons, for instance. And that does not work well with MineFantasy at all. So the big question then is, I'm going to start putting all this away. But yeah, then that kind of leaves the question, all right, well, if that is so, then, well, if that's so, then are you ever going to play those mods, right? And the long and short of it is, I don't know, right? Because not only does it not work with that, a lot of big tech mods like, I don't know, Buildcraft, right? Or immersive engineering, right? Those are really popular, and those are really popular tech mods, right? Okay, why am I still? I'm not holding my key. I'm not holding my key. Why am I going forward? Tap the key to stop. Okay, that was weird. I've had that happen before though, so it is what it is. All right, let's actually go ahead and throw down some steel. We'll just throw down the steel. Not there. Just take this off. Right, there we go. Iron bars can go there for now. Right, we can continue to stack. And then continue to stack. Things are looking good for our metal piles. Okay, we are actually completely full on gold. Oh, wait, here we are. So the bronze is apparently fine. The rest of these appear to still be hot. We'll throw bronze over here. Why not? All right. Looks good. So, what was I talking about? Oh, right, the other mods, right? So there's those weapon mods that just don't work with the MineFantasy weapon styles. There are obviously going to be uh, there's always going to be the tech mods, and those just do not work with MineFantasy at all. So the question then arises, do I even play those, right? Like, and it's not that I don't necessarily like them, though in some cases, like, let's take, actually no, those, Ender.io, right? I've never actually played, big shocker, but I've not really played with Ender.io all that much. I kind of know some of the basics, but I haven't actually played with it all that much. Same thing with, like, Mechanism, right? I mean, they're interesting, don't get me wrong, it's just, well, MineFantasy. I'm sorry, but like that, yeah. So the question then becomes this: do I, for lack of a better term, branch out? We can throw you in there. Hey, and we have some spruce timber here. Throw that on there. And we can leave you there. So do I branch out, right? Because that would mean I would have to step away from MineFantasy. And I mean, I don't mind doing that. I haven't always played with MineFantasy, nor is it the be-all end-all of mods. But at the same time, it is far and away like the mod, just the mod for me, right? It is, everyone has their mod that they just have to have. For me, wait, hold up. Okay, no. Yeah, I know I wasn't gonna replant these, but I think we're doing well enough. We can at least somewhat replant our farm. All right, nice. Those are growing up good. Make sure to grab sugarcane. But yeah, so with MineFantasy being such a big part of why I play MineFantasy, Minecraft actually. I don't know about branching out, right? I don't know, I'm just kind of talking at this point. Because this is something that I had to talk about. I'm just not really sure what to say. Because I mean, like, what is there to say, right? I don't know. You know what? Maybe we can organize chests. You know what? That might be the next episode. This episode has probably gone on long enough. So yeah, I still have other things that I want to talk about. I'll talk about those in the next episode. When we finally sort through all of these, right? We have some spare chests. We have time. And yeah, that seems like as good of a you know reason to good of a use of time as any. So yeah, thank you all for joining. And yeah, just let me know what you think. See y'all.